Hi. So I just had the most amazing experience here at the falls, and it was so as my theme has been going with my videos lately is about acceptance, letting go, forgiveness, and anyway, so I came to the falls today here by myself, and my cell phone, like, the battery was gonna die, so I couldn't do it. I needed and I needed quiet time just between me and my higher power and the waterfall. And luckily there wasn't anybody up there with me because I climbed up the stairs to the top. And so luckily that I could have that time to myself, because I really just needed to let go and let God and just speak out what's on my heart and just release what no longer serves me, and why do I have to hold on to stuff that no longer serves me. And like, sure, I have all these talks that I do, and I mean everything I say when I say it, but sometimes it's easier to say than to actually do. And the things that I'm saying in these videos are things that I needed to do. And so I needed to voice myself, and I just had to say what I needed to say I love myself. And I really, in that moment, felt that oneness, like I am him, you are me. And, forgive myself for everything, forgive people, any wrongs that have been done to me, any situations, anything, and just shower myself with the love that I deserve and stop pushing away the good things when they do come. And so it was getting it off my chest, and just the water rushing and flowing through and just purifying and cleansing and clearing, and I'm like bawling my eyes out, and I'm like, oh gosh, please don't anybody see me. I'm bawling my eyes out. Oh Lord. But as I'm doing this and I'm bawling my eyes out, like that beautiful raven that showed up in the other video, that's probably a different one. But there was a beautiful raven that flew over my head over the waterfalls, and then kind of came back and then flew back over. And it just felt magical, because in that moment too, it started snowing. And so there was snowflakes that were coming down, because I was like, what is that? They just like leaves that, the wind's blowing. It's really cold. And it's just leaves and the wind's blowing. And it actually was snowflakes. And one of them landed on my glove, and I have a picture. I'll figure out how maybe I can put it together in this video. But it looked so beautiful, and it was like a shape of I don't know if I'm gonna say this word right, Merkaba, or like a star. And it was just so beautiful, and I'm just staring at it, and I'm just like in awe and so blessed, for everything, to be able to forgive myself, to be able to fully love myself, to be able to forgive others, to be able to let it go. No more, when you look up the definitions of these words, because, sometimes you have to look up the definition of these words to really fully grasp and understand. So like forgive. As a matter of fact, I think it's actually in my book here, what it actually means. But forgive had to do with, I wrote a lot, so hang on one second. Forgive definition: stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or mistake. Then I had to look up resentful, which means feeling or expressing bitterness or indignation at having been treated unfairly. And then I looked up bitterness: anger and disappointment at being treated unfairly. And then I looked up indignation: anger or annoyance provoked by what is perceived as unfair treatment. And so I don't necessarily know that I have, well, I guess I do have. I had part of the anger towards the stuff growing up. But with my ex, it was more of disappointment of, you know, I mean, he's got this child, like the marital affair he had, there's no forgetting that, like, you can't because there's a living person from it. So a beautiful living person, but there's a living person from it. So and it was just so perfect to just be by myself and just be connected and just share what was on my heart and just yell. I yelled at the falls. I'm like, I love you. And then it was saying, I love you, Jennifer. I love you, Jennifer Jane. Like, and meaning it and crying over it. Cause it's like, I don't know. It's so silly. It's so silly. It's silly, but not silly, because a lot of people feel this way, and a lot of people don't know how to fully love themselves. And that's why we stay stuck in our situations. And I stayed stuck in my situations, and I just didn't think that I was worthy or worth it. So, I mean, but we are. I know I am. I just have to be able to let it go and let it be free and just, I don't know. And just, I was just filled with so much gratitude. There was so much gratitude. And I just felt so blessed. I mean, I can't even explain it. I can't even put it into words. Because you just know in your heart when you just have to do something and you cling on to it, because like there's that part of you that doesn't want to let go what you know, what you're comfortable with and what you're used to. And to be able to let it go, like I literally felt like coming out of your skin, like the phoenix, like, you know, but it felt like I left my body and I felt free. In that moment, I left my body and I felt free and said, I want to be of service. I want to spread love, and I'm ready for change. And where there is love, there can be no fear. And so every time I wanted to release all the fear that I have, there's so much fear pent up in me, you know, about change and trusting again. And trust is huge. Trust is huge. And when you lose trust, it's hard to gain that back. So to be able to drop that shield that's over my heart, because I know there was a block, there was a shield, a big shield. And so to be able to work through, to drop that shield and be able to be okay with what's happening and embracing life. And as my eyes go this way, I'm seeing a bird flying my way. It's a really big bird. Oh my gosh, it's the raven. I don't know if you saw that in the video. Holy shit. Oh, that's so cool. It's like every time I was having these talks, like the ravens would come and they just fly over and they just catch my eye. And there was a bluebird too that happened. It was just so beautiful and so magical. Like, just being connected and listening to your higher power. Like my higher power yesterday, I saw my friend had a picture. She was giving away some stuff for free. And I was like, it looked like an angel. And I messaged her. I'm like, is it an angel? Like, is it an angel? And it was like, yeah, it's, she's like, no, it's not an angel, it's a fairy. And I was like, oh, well, can you put it aside for me? And can I come by later and get it? And she's like, well, you know, if it's still there, it's meant to be yours. And I was like, oh boy, that would be a bummer if it wasn't there. And I was like, well, no, I'm not going. I got the kids in the car, and I got Zach in the car, and we're gonna go take the kids to the falls and have a family time with the kiddos and have a picnic there. And so I was like, no, let's just go. And then I got the urge to check, like, maybe it's not that far off. So anyway, it turns out it was only 1.5 miles off of our actual road we were going. And it was perfect. And I listened to my higher power to say, yes, you should go. You should go. And it was just beautiful because of course, I don't know. I guess because I ran to my friend who I love so much, and then her husband, and got to see the things that they're doing. And then I ran to an old neighbor that we hadn't seen in years, and that Zach had a falling out with because of his use of drugs. And so it was just good so he could see us and how different we are. And like, I've lost a ton of weight. He's gained a ton of weight because he's clean now. Anyway, and just the things that transpired, it was so meant to be and so perfect. And they gifted him, Zach, a beautiful wheelchair that he needs to be able to go on walks with the kids, because he can't walk very far because he's got blood clotting disorders, and he wants to do stuff with the kids, but he has terrible circulation in his legs, so he can't walk very far at all. So he was blessed with this wheelchair for him to be able to have a better quality of life, to be able to go out on walks with the kids, which is amazing. And then I was gifted the angel. Like, it's not just about the angel statue. I mean, it's so beautiful, and I'm so blessed, and it's so wonderful. And I'm so, so, so appreciative. And I look at that thing and I just have such love and admiration for it. But also just the friendship and the stories and stuff, similarities that I needed to hear to help me break through that shield I have over my heart. And that it's okay to get your heart broken, but it's not okay to put up a wall and not allow the good in your life, because you deserve the good. And so for me, I have to drop that shield, and I have to just be open and be vulnerable and trust that my higher power knows what's best for me and what I need to do for me. And so with that, it's just, I'm just reveling in the thought of it all, and just the messages that come through, and when I'm connected and I'm listening and I'm feeling, and the signs that show me I'm on the right path. And anyway, it's hard. It's very hard. And Zach and I are working on being friends, because we need to be friends for the kids, and we need to have a good relationship for the kids and be able to support them, support us. And it's learning to find that trust in that friendship relationship, because for so many years there was he was always on drugs. And like he said to me, he's like, I've always been on drugs. Like, I may have said I was clean, I may have said I was trying, but I never was clean, and I was never trying. But I am now. And I actually can see that. I actually can see it. You can see it, you can feel it. And just the synchronicities of the messages that I'm seeing, it's just being open and acknowledging the messages that are being given to you. And knowing that where there is love, there can be no fear. And putting a wall up over my heart isn't helping me any. Me not forgiving for what happened, and being disappointed still, and everything else, and including towards, my past. That's not helping anybody or anything. I can't allow the love. I can't accept the love with ease and grace when I have those walls up, because I can't even give it to myself. So why can I accept it from anywhere else? And so when things started to feel like good, I'm like, brakes. Brakes. Stomp the brakes. Something's not right. It shouldn't feel good. And we do that. It's self-sabotage, complete self-sabotage. But no, I deserve all the good things in life. And the message is disappointing me to that I do deserve those things. And we all deserve those things. And recognizing and getting out of situations that are not meant for us and that are not comfortable. And asking ourselves, if we're in a situation that we don't like, why are we still there? And if it's just because of we can't physically do it or financially do it, then what can I do to get there? There's the raven again. What can I do to get there again? Like, how can I get out of this? How can I get there? And just taking it step by step, one day at a time, one moment at a time, 1 minute at a time. And trusting in your higher power, that your higher power has the ability to show you the way if you're willing to listen. And I just know that by appreciating all the messages that I get and the feelings that I get and the things that I see in nature, birds and snowflakes, and it just shows me that yes, keep going, keep going, keep pushing. Like, I felt like when the snowflakes were coming down, this is gonna sound silly, but I felt like the heavens were crying for me because I'm finally getting it. I'm finally understanding it and listening to them. And that's just amazing. And marking these moments and writing these moments and journaling these moments. Like with Zach, I was talking about, so like relationship people, like there's this heart thing. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, so there's friendship on the left and there's wife on the right, because I am still his wife. But I cannot have the wife mentality because the wife mentality brings out the control freak in me. So, and there's the in love in the middle and the best friends. So, relationships. You got to find your way in the middle and whatever works for you. And come up with your own pictures, your own charts, whatever it is that you need to come up with to keep your mental state in where you need to be. I'm done being controlling. I'm done trying to control anybody else because I have no control over anybody else but myself. And to be able to see that and let that go, that is huge. Super huge. And becoming friends with, people that have hurt us, if you choose to do that. Because sometimes people do things not in their right frame of mind. And it's not to hurt you. They're not out to get you. It may feel that way. But just accepting and forgiving and letting go. And knowing and not forgetting. And not saying it's okay. Not forgetting. Definitely not forgetting. But knowing that I don't ever have to let anything that doesn't feel good continue on in my life. I have the power and the choice. That was another thing when I was out there. I take back all of my power that I have given away, and I was giving away power by not forgiving. So I had lots of power out there, from things grown up from child to now. And I had to let that shit go, let it go down with the waterfall and take back my power. I took back my power. I reclaimed it. And it was, oh my God. Okay, look. Do you see that? That is so freaking cool. He's just like, I don't know if you can see him over there. He's just chilling. He's hopping around. Anyway, it's true. So, it's about the path to finding yourself, loving yourself, and finding oneness with everything that is. I am you, you are me. We all are the same. And we all have to find our path and what works for us and what makes us feel good. And learn to accept the love, accept the joy, accept the happiness, and not worry so much on the things that are gonna go or could go wrong, the what ifs. Don't do the what ifs or the shoulds or the couldas, you know. Don't do that. Don't shit on yourself. Just take it day by day, moment by moment. Accept what people want to give you. If people want to compliment you, accept it. Accept it fully in your heart. Accept it. Because that was me. Is like, I didn't accept it. I didn't even accept it like with your guardian angel. I'm like, they're with me all the time. Why would they be with me all the time? Like, who wants to be with me all the time? Like, no, accept it. That's what they're there for. They're there for you and to help you get to this point where you can feel free, and then you can share your joy and your love with others so you can do the same. Like, I'm like, oh, there's those crazy people talking to God, like, and doing all that love stuff, like, but it's because it wasn't my time. It was not my time. I was not ready for that. I needed to go through everything that I've gone through in order to get me here. Otherwise, I couldn't understand what all that is that people go through. Like, I would have no clue. That's like, I don't know, like somebody who's not an addict trying to help an addict not be an addict. Like, that's hard. Like, because I would really want to understand the mentality of where they're at and give them tools, different tools, multiple tools, because you need your tool bag. Like, I call it my nature's toolbox, tool bag, because I come out here and I get my messages and I mark them down. I write them down in my journal. I mark them in my head and I use them. And I have to pull out my tool bag for all different types of situations. Not every situation is the same. Not every situation is not going to be treated the same. I'm not going to let go the same way. And I just happened to get the idea from two different people about letting go and not being able to forgive. And so in 2 days, my sponsor for Al-Anon told me today, and then Zach told me yesterday about how he was able to forgive. And so they both said the same thing, is I prayed and I talked to my higher power, God, whatever you want to call it. And I just had a chat, and that's what I did. My higher power I was talking to was the waterfall. So if that's what you got to do, is the water is your higher power at that moment, and you got to talk it out with it, then that's what you do. Something greater than yourself. That's what it is. You believe in something greater than yourself that can restore you to sanity. And I love that. I love me. I love you. When I say I love you, it's I love you to me, I love you to you, we are one, you are me. And I just can't reiterate that enough, and how much love is important, and that the people who believe in a higher power and God and do all that are not crazy. We think it was crazy back then. I was like, oh, church-going people. No, I get it, okay? I'm not a church-going person. I'm not a religious person. So you don't have to be a religious, church-going person to feel your higher power or your God or your angels or Buddha or whatever it is that you think is a higher power than you, the waterfall. So I don't go to church. I don't consider myself, I guess Christian is angels. I don't care about that crap. Like, it doesn't matter to me where it came from or what it's about. I just love angels. I believe in angels. I'm not Christian. I'm not Catholic. I'm not anything. I'm just me. There are no, I don't know what the word is. I don't have any limits. I believe in what I believe in, and it doesn't matter what anybody else believes in. I'm not following anything in particular. I just go with what my heart says. My heart says I love angels. I believe in angels. That's why I love this angel statue. It's so beautiful, and it's holding a bird, and it's so, so, so beautiful, and it means so much to me. And I just, every time I look at it, I feel love. That's the important part. I just clicked it. The love part. When I see that, I see love. Lots of love. So much love that it overwhelms me. Like, and this isn't crying unhappy tears. This is tears of love and joy and appreciation of all the good things that I am deserving of. And just that I've been shown, yes, you can have this. So if you need an angel to look at, to feel that, if you can't look in the mirror and love yourself for exactly as you are right now, then look at something. For me, it's an angel. Then look at something that can look back at you and that can make you feel that love that you deserve. Because that's what you need. And you put that somewhere where you can see it all the time. And then you change that and you start looking in the mirror and doing the same thing. So when I look at that angel, I see love. I feel love. I feel it so deep in my soul. And that's what you need, is something to rock you in your soul and shake you and bring you out of what you used to be and bring you into something new. So that's why I love angels, because they are giving you unconditional love. I love Jesus, and I love Jesus, and I feel like he walks with me. My angels walk with me. I get inspiration and just the love, unconditional love. No matter what you've done or what has happened, just being unconditionally loved, no matter what. And that is the exact same thing that you're supposed to do with yourself. And so if you can't do it for yourself, then you get it from them first. And then they show you that you can do that for yourself. Because you can. You just have to break it wide open. Drop that shield. You don't need it anymore. You know when things are going wrong. And at that moment is when you have a choice to make a different choice and go a different way. That's why I was seeing all these, I'm seeing all these, the bottom of a heart, that V. It's because you have a choice. You can go this way or you can go this way. You never are stuck going one way. It's always a choice on where you want to go and what your next step is, and whether you want to continue to be in a situation that's not serving your highest good anymore, or if you want to be in a different place and just allow the flow of the water to take you and stop fighting it. Stop fighting against it. That's going to wear your ass out. Like if you're fighting against the current and you're trying to get back up the current, no, just go somewhere new. Just be in the new and just let it flow and let it take you. And take that love with you, no matter what, every day, day in, day out. That love in your heart is what's going to save you. And if you don't have that love yet, then ask, how can I get that love for myself? Oh, let's try my pen. How can I get that love for myself? How can I love myself more today? So what can you do to help your tomorrow, is my saying. But I also want it to be about the love part. So what love can I give myself today to help my tomorrow? What more can I do to make myself fall more in love with myself today to help my tomorrow? What can you do to help you fall in love with you? You don't have to fall in love with somebody else. I always look to guys to like fill my void. I don't need that. I have it right here in my heart. So what can I do to help me fall in love with me more every day? Well, looking at angels, going on my walks. Those are my things. What are your things? So, I don't know what this video is all about, but I just wanted to come out and get this documented of the stuff that happened at the falls, and me crying and yelling at the falls and just letting it all go and being shown that, yes, Jennifer Jane, I love you, and you are on the right path, and you are listening to me now, and you will live your life purpose for your highest and greatest good. I am surrendering myself to a power greater than myself for guidance and direction, and trusting that I will be guided, and trusting myself to listen to myself to be able to follow that guidance. Because that's a big piece of it too, is I have to trust myself to be able to listen, to get the guidance, to be following it correctly, and know that when I'm off kilter and I'm off on the wrong path is when my emotions are telling me something else. If I'm not listening to my emotions, like they say, was it Esther Hicks, Abraham, your emotional navigation system. So your emotions are your navigation system to help you know whether you're on the right path or not. So if something doesn't feel good and you're getting down and depressed, then maybe time to look at it. Wait a minute. I'm in that B shape. Am I going this way? Or am I going this way? I'm going this way right now, but I want to go this way. So just listening to yourself, listening to your body, listening to your mind, listening to your heart, and not so much this, because this ego, I actually had a chat with my ego when I was up there at the falls, and this ego has tried to keep me safe all this time, and I appreciate it so much, and I love it so much for trying to keep me safe. But I told it that it's time to go into its cocoon like a butterfly, because it's time to go to sleep. Because it's time to go to sleep and wake up and be transformed so it can fly away and be something beautiful. And no longer hold me back. Because that's all the fears up here in my ego that are telling me these stories that are no longer true, and I no longer need them. But I thank them for getting me through the things that I needed to get through, because honestly, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if I hadn't gone through the things that I have gone through. Like, if I didn't have the anger and hate towards Zach, I wouldn't have left him a year ago. So I needed to get out of that situation. He needed it. I needed it. And so I needed that ego up here telling me that he's making you sick. He is making you sick. And I needed that. And at that time, to me, it was true. It was real. It was my belief. I know now today, I've learned something else. He did not make me sick. Nope. I allowed myself to get sick. I allowed myself to stay in those situations and be gaslighted and put through the shit ringer. I allowed myself to stay there. I had a choice, see? Yeah, I was going this way, and I probably should have went that way. So, but my point is that the ego is there for a reason. It's there to keep you safe. It's there to take you to the next step. However, now I get it. Now it's time for it to go to sleep, go through the process, transform into a beautiful butterfly and fly away, because I get it now. And I don't need it anymore to keep me safe. I trust in me and my higher power to know that I'm going to know the next step to what to do. And some days it may not be perfect and it may not be easy, but I'm going to listen to my emotions about it and how it feels that I'm going to put myself in that spot. What do my emotions say if I did this? How would I feel? That feels great. I'm going to go that way. If I put myself here, how does that make me feel? I don't know about that. Then maybe that's not the best choice for me. So that is what I'm going to do. Change. Love. I love and appreciate all the blessings and all the love that I've been given. Anyway, that was really long. If anybody even listens to this through. Oh, well, if you do, I'm sending you love. As a matter of fact, I'm going to send some energy right now. I don't think I can put my phone up here without dropping.